You're listening to the World's Team Podcast. It's not just America's team, Cowboys Nation. It's the world's team. Now, here are your hosts, Paul Stewart and Mike Poland.
How about them Cowboys?
What is up, Cowboys Nation? Welcome to another episode of the World's Team Podcast, brought to you by the Believe Network and sponsored by Cowboys Experience. The Dallas Cowboys have fallen massively short in this game against the Denver Broncos. The streak continues to 8 losses in a row. The last game we ever won against the Denver Broncos was back in 1995, and as of this game, the Dallas Cowboys have just lost 44-24. I am your host, Paul Stewart, and I am joined, as always, by Mike Poland, where you can find him on bloggerboys.com. Be sure to go and check him out. Mike, let's just cut straight into it. That was just disgraceful from top to bottom.
Yeah, it was dire.
It was just horrible to watch. It really was.
Yeah, I mean, it started off all right. You had the interception, and you thought, oh, okay. All right, this game is, we said sacks or turnovers is what will win the day. And the Cowboys start the first drive getting an interception. And then from there, it just goes downhill.
Yeah, it literally looked like you just reached the mountaintop. Now you're going straight downhill, like the Denver Rocky Mountains. That's what it felt like, But I mean, I don't know what to really say in this game. Like offensively, let's look at some of the positives, I guess, of what was there. Javonte Williams, was pounding the rock. I would say got 2 touchdowns. Pickens had some good catches. Lamb had some good catches. But the thing that we both outlined on our pregame show was try and utilize Jake Ferguson. Just did not happen at all.
No, I mean, if you want to go with positives, there were some nice catches. Jane Tolbert at the end from Joe Milton. That's a good catch. George Pickens, that catch on 4th down, fantastic.
Yeah.
Dak running the ball for first down. When Dak gets running, it really opens up the offense. They were all positives. The interception, a positive. Yeah. But the trouble is beyond that, Bridges really, as the game continues,
He got exposed. Yeah.
And I mean, go on.
I mean, at the same time, I wouldn't say it's all his fault. Yeah, I think from a man-to-man, that's on Bridges. But Tony Romo made a really great comment during the breakdown of that play after the touchdown. It's like there was literally so much space available. Oh, yeah. There was no, so whoever who our secondary was, if it was Clark or Bell, they should have been there to help assist that. And that didn't happen. So... But from a man-to-man perspective, Bridges got absolutely smoked in that play. And
he was struggling. He was struggling. And I made the comment on Twitter. I was like, look, you're looking at a 7th-round draft pick by the Chargers, who they cut. And Dallas went, well, we need a cornerback. So let's just take this guy. And that's what you saw. You saw a 7th-round cut candidate who was struggling out there. Kent Murray had some issues. One particular play, he was just blocking thin air. I don't really know what he was doing on the play.
That Russian touchdown by RJ Harvey, he stayed on that block. He didn't show urgency to get off that block to make the tackle. That's what really frustrated the living daylights out of me, mate. And it's not just Kenneth Murray. There was a few other players as well.
Sam Williams had a really, really bad day. I mean, he made one good play where he cut across the line, brought the running back down.
Tackle for loss.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
But he got sealed off on one particular running play by a slot receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm concerned for Sam Williams. I just don't know what is going on there. It's so peculiar. I tell you another player who really has struggled these last couple of games. Maybe not Washington, but in other games, has been Oso Digizua. This
It's
game,
been been non-existent, and
struggling.
that's in fact, mate, you actually may actually have the statistics on you right now. Actually, what was the average per carry by the running backs?
Hold on one second. So, at one point it was worse than this. So it came down because obviously, as the game got into the fourth quarter, they're just taking carries just to wind the clock down. J.K.
Mm-hmm.
Dobbins 7.4 yards per carry. R.J. Harvey 6.6 yards per carry. At one point,
It was
when
like
it was the
9 and
third
11.
quarter, yeah, Dobbins was 9 yards per carry and Harvey was 11.2. And that is on combined for 22 carries.
22 rushing carries. That's just nuts. I mean, I'm just looking at the whole like breakdown of this right now. Like, hold on, let me just refresh this just to make sure I've got all the right information here. So, yeah. So, in terms of first downs, Dallas had 24. First downs, Broncos had 25. Our fourth down efficiency was 1 for 1. This is the big one. It's the third down efficiency. We were 4 and 11.
Yeah, and if you go back and watch, the issue on third down was the offensive line. They just could not stop. At one point, the Broncos rushed
Yeah.
three. They sent three to Dak on
Yep.
third down,
Yep. Two
and
two
all
linebackers. Yep.
yeah, and all three broke through. If you could take a snapshot, Dak spins away from one. He's met by another, but there's another guy just literally right behind him on that one play. It's just like that is a perfect snapshot for this game. That the offensive line did absolute zilch in slowing down the pressure. People will talk about the interceptions by Dak, and both were bad throws by
They were
Dak.
bad.
But
Yep. They
yeah,
were bad. Yep.
and I'm not defending Dak because they were bad throws. But on the other side of it, you've got to think Dak's frame of mind is I'm just getting absolutely pummeled. I'm getting swarmed by this pressure. So I'm just trying to take chances and get the ball out. And that's what he did. And lo and behold, it
And
didn't
that's the
work out.
point. And that's the point where I can see where Cowboys fans do get annoyed with Dak Prescott is whenever he is being pressured to the high heavens, he does become that little bit more desperate. But when Dak is calm and relaxed, he's
Yeah. Okay.
flawless.
Yeah.
He's absolutely flawless. Like when the pressure's
Normally,
off him.
yeah. Normally against the blitz, he's much better. He's better from being blitzed than he is from a clean pocket. But today, I think just that the pressure was so relentless and it was coming at him just in droves that was
You
enough. And
you gotta.
it messed up
You,
his timing.
I mean, you gotta give it to the Denver Broncos. They brought their A game today.
Not today, they did, yeah.
Sean Payton had a great game plan. You executed it to a fine tee,
Mm.
not just defensively but offensively as well. I mean, Bo Nix had another great game. Like I know what people would say. Oh, Bo Nix was like what was he like the sixth quarterback in last year's draft? He's been performing probably arguably top 2 of that draft class since he came into the league. So,
I mean, you can argue that, but okay. Yeah.
no, he has statistically. He has.
Statistically, okay.
Like, I mean, yeah, like people can say, oh, he's like, you know, it's yeah. With Bo Nix, I'm just kind of like, just don't understand how we managed to lose, man. Like, but it's just
I
bad
tell you
play calling.
the two big things that have really failed Dallas today. On defense, stopping the run. And you could talk about the secondary. The secondary, I think, is as a result of the lack of pressure that the defense was getting up front, because there was nothing. They've done literally nothing in this game. They haven't really for most of they've done it in chunks, and you're like, oh, it seems to be getting better. It's getting there. This game, nothing. So nothing to mitigate the Micah Parsons trade. And I know we don't talk about him, but I'm just saying they've done nothing there. There was zero pressure up there. But against the run, I mean, Marshawn Nealon, we talk about him being a defensive end that's a good bookend who will set an edge and good against the run. It was terrible. And I know the linebackers were bad. They had a bad day, but they could not stop the run. You don't stop the run against this Denver offense, what happens is what you see. And then the screens and the play action comes, it's all over, especially against this Cowboys secondary. It's just too easy. On offense, the biggest issue on offense was the play calling. Play calling gets a massive F minus grade for this. It was shocking. I don't know why it was that way, because normally Schottenheimer, I praise his play calling. It's been great. It's been fantastic. But today, it was like as if he was calling
really
afraid.
off kilter. It seemed really off kilter. Like, and
he was calling scared.
Yeah, and also, and this kind of may have brought something back to what Marcus was saying on the pregame show, like the altitude. Would that have any effect in how the players have played or anything like that? Like, obviously, Denver play there more on a regular basis. They're used to it, but for us, no. Like I said, like last time we ever won in Denver was back in 1992.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to use that as an excuse, but either way, what our product, that this football team on that football field, was just not good enough. At the end of the day, for any Cowboys fan out there, wherever you are in the world, this was just not good.
This was a monstrous manhandling. And then all of the issues that were happening on offense, with primarily the play calling, with the issues of not being able to stop the run on defense, we then see spilling into the special teams when they allow a 50-yard return, and you're just like, here we go. It's all just falling apart here now.
It was all ends. Well, here's the first thing I knew we were going to lose this game for me. Even though we were... No. Like, this was the definitive point, was the fact that it was the first interception where we could have actually let Brandon Aubrey try and attempt to go for the record. Like the reason I'm saying that is because, like, it was a bad, like, one, it was a bad pass, but two, it's like, we should actually be able to trust and actually still lower the deficit, because there was no way within 22 seconds we were going to get to that end zone. Like, because that's what it seemed like. Like, it seemed like we were going for broke on that one play. It's like, all we had to do was gain an extra 5 yards, pre-snap the balls, like, spike it, and let Aubrey do his thing. But after that, I just kind of felt, yeah, this isn't not going the way that we're going right now. And even Schottenheimer during the halftime, like, interview, it's like, yeah, I made some mistakes, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to have to rectify it. Our defense is making mistakes. We're going to have to rectify it. Clearly, that didn't work. So,
no. I mean, you knew things, and it was a comment I made as well, that things were going to go bad. And so, I don't get down in the red zone on the 3-yard line why you don't hand it to Javonte Williams on that first offensive drive. They try to be cute, and they fail, and they settle for a field goal. Cowboys go 3-0 up after the interception. Denver comes out again, and the Cowboys come out. They make a stop on 3rd down, and you're like, ooh, the Cowboys' defense is here. We've stopped them. Only for a flag to come out because of James Houston setting up offsides. A pre-snap penalty offside. And this is happening. If it's not Houston, it's Sam Williams. It happens regularly. And what happened as a result of that? The RJ Harvey touchdown. You gave them an opportunity. And from that moment, it's 7-3 up, when it could have been the Cowboys marching downfield and going 10-0 up off one penalty. And then from there, it just starts to dismantle and fall apart.
Yeah,
and that's why, for me, the first quarter, it was going wrong.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point, Mike. Really good point. I totally forgot all about that. I mean,
Mm.
I mean, not to kind of defend James Houston or like I genuinely like his foot wasn't beyond the line of scrimmage. It was just his head. I don't know if that's part of the rule, but if it's any body part or whatever or not, but it seems very like very peculiar. But if that's the way the refs called it, then fair enough. He was infringement, like he was in the other
He
side
was in
of the
the
ball.
neutral
So
zone,
he's
effectively.
in it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. But speaking about penalties, there
Oosh.
was a lot from us, like
9.
especially in the offensive line, false starts, like
Yep. Holding.
yeah, holding false starts. It just kind of felt like we were back to what we were really bad at, like from top to bottom. Like
The
I
offensive
don't
line
know.
really struggled. I mean, the tackles especially, but we spoke about this in the pre-game show. Offensive line was going to be important, especially helping Guyton and Steele on the outside because it was going to come. We knew it was, but they both seriously struggled, which affected the interior. And it wasn't just I mean, the penalties are like that's a discipline issue, you know. You see the one with the Terrence Steele hold on the Dak run, and you're just like, and like Terrence Steele is having moments, but I mean, like today was just so bad for him. He's gonna have he's gonna have a lot of speak about him this week. About we can't wait till the end of the season when Steele's no longer here. There's gonna be that
Mm.
talk. Hoffman, he was having issues. He had the false start. Um, there was some other issues, especially with the blocking. Um, it was a tough watch for the offensive line this week. Defensive line, much the same on the opposite side, which is why Denver was able to just so willingly dart up the field on the ground and carve up yards. And it's the last comment I made before the end of the game is, and here's a question for you, Paul, is I
Mm.
said there are the issues with this Cowboys defense are so ample. Like when it comes to the draft, where do you even begin? Where do you even start on this to try and fix things? Because I just looked at it, I'm like, I don't even know where to begin.
I know the answer to it. BPA, best player available.
Well, I'll be a wide receiver in this year's draft then.
No, well, it would have to be on the defensive side of the ball. He'll be like, oh, well, unless you're like the next Travis Hunter, you can play both sides.
Yeah, yeah, two-way player, yeah.
No, but on the funnies, but joking aside, the I know Jerry has came out prior to the game that of all the positions he's not looking to trade for his defensive end. Like, and I know that
We know
some
why
people
he
are.
says that.
Some people could take that with a pinch of salt. I mean, I would generally tend to believe him in that matter because I do think the problem does kind of mainly rely in the linebackers and the secondary. I really do.
Linebackers,
But
most certainly.
yeah, but at the same time, I do think edge is still a problem. The fact that we did not create anything in this game. Bo Nix was just get. And fair play to the Broncos' offensive line. Quine Miners had a hell of a game. He really did. Like, he had a double pancake, for goodness sake.
He did.
Like,
That was on
and this,
the touchdown run.
yeah, and this was the guy during the draft process I was so high up
We
on.
loved him. We loved Quinn Miners.
I talked about Quinn Miners, especially when he was at the Reese's
Senior
what you
Bowl.
call it, Senior Bowl.
Mm.
He was the biggest standout for me, and I was like, oh, we could really do with a guy like that. And
Plays with
he's
a
now
nasty edge.
obviously with Denver. He got his new contract extension. I think it was last year. I think he's like now one of the highest guards in the NFL for a guy that.
Deserved.
Yeah, for a guy who only played like a Division 3, Division 2 college
Mm-hmm.
team, like
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Whitewater.
but yeah, but he's doing a fantastic job for Denver. I mean, you got to give it to Denver. Like they played a really great game. really nullified everything that we had to do. Like nullifying Dak Prescott defensively, offensively. They just tore us apart. Bo Nix was there, picking us apart. Like we short passes there and there, and obviously hit him with the long ones to Franklin in the end zone, not once but twice. But yeah, man, it's I don't know what else that we can really talk about. Like we didn't even get to see much of Brandon Aubrey. Didn't even get to see him.
No. I mean, there was one point where I thought it was coming, but it didn't. But Sean Payton really made this a statement game as well. That the game was ahead.
1,000%.
Yeah,
1,000%.
and like even in that fourth quarter where they're ahead, it's 30-17, and he just keeps coming, and then he scores again. So Peyton's just out there going, I'm just going to rack up. I'm going to make this a statement game. I'm going to give my players the confidence because this game, and bearing in mind, he does all of this with, we were afraid of Patrick Surtain. He was pretty much, he took out, he did the, he made a pass breakup against George Pickens in the red zone. Comes out awkward. Yeah, and then he comes back and then injures his shoulder.
Yep.
So they play for most of the game without their top cornerback. And they still managed to do that. Mostly because they didn't have to worry as much about Patrick Surtain because the defensive line and the pressure they were getting up front was just ample enough to cause too many issues.
See, that's the biggest difference when it comes to the defense, right? So our problem is our defensive line is not great, like especially if you're playing a zone defense.
Yeah.
If you're playing a zone defense, you need your defensive line and one of your linebackers or whatever the blitz situation is that may be, really amp up and really get in the face of the quarterback.
Got to.
Denver were doing that to an absolute T. You got to give them credit for that. Like our offensive line struggled against that. When you look at how Dallas would do it, then that's where the problems lie. When we're creating not really much pressure, then it's going to open up more time and space for these wide receivers, especially if you're in that open field with a zone defense. And that's where things get so frustrated. So
it's so open. Wide receivers got too much room to play in with the time that they have.
Yeah. So, and this goes back to what you were saying. It's like, where do we even begin to try and fix this? Like, do we bring in another edge? Do we never bring another linebacker? Do we bring another like the way I generally feel right now, Mike, and this might upset a few Cowboys fans, is maybe start looking to do a fire sale right now and try and get more for next year. Like, as far as I'm concerned right now, like, we are not a playoff team based on that.
No.
By far. Like, and at this point, like, the Eagles, obviously, they just won against the Giants, and I will want to say also, I would wish Cam Scatterable to recover quickly as well, because that was a horrible, horrible injury, and I wish no player to, like, go down like that, and it was the same what happened to Aiden Hutchinson was last year as well, so it's just horrible to see that type of stuff, so despite he may be playing for a rival team, but he is a fun player to watch, and you just want him to kind of succeed and be good and whatever. So wish Scatterbo all the best in his recovery. But going back to that, like with the Eagles winning, they're pretty much now in pole position now. Going forward, obviously Washington play later, which should be an interesting one, I think.
Well, it was the thing with that is that you've got the Eagles pushing ahead, although they shouldn't have really won that game based on one particular. But never mind. You got the Cowboys.
Well, yeah, we could talk about that. We could.
Yeah, but I mean, the Cowboys could have, if they beat Denver today, if they had, then they keep pace, and they could have theoretically started to distance themselves from Washington, because Washington are going to go up against Kansas. You'd expect Kansas to win that game. So now the Cowboys get a game ahead. But now it just keeps that middle pack of the NFC East directly where it is.
And then in terms of the standings, it's like where would the Cowboys be in terms of how would the season end as of right now? Like, if we were to kind of go win, loss, loss, win, loss, 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 like, yeah, we'd be quite low end, but it would still probably be in the high tens.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, I actually do want to talk about that thing about the Eagles game.
Go on. I know that we will talk about the one play that we're both kind of like veering towards because I just don't get it. I don't understand the call. It's a terrible call.
So, in case anyone's wondering, anyone that's listening through Spotify and Apple and here watching here on YouTube, we're referring to the which was clearly a strip. Well, no. Well, let me say it.
Yeah, go on.
Which was clearly a strip sack from a tush push. It was clear as day. Why the referees decide to actually say no, it was not, I have no idea, because the whistle was never blown before the ball was taken out. So, by the rules, by the rule book set by the NFL, that should have been, like, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, Mike. I'm really not. But it really feels as though that the Eagles truly are getting absolute handouts when it comes to this play.
They're getting hell.
And
I mean, go on.
It's now getting to the point now where it's becoming so obvious with the offsides, the jumping off, like guards
ball
jumping
starts.
off. But
yeah.
Like ball placement is so undetermined. Like there was like maybe like possible fumbles where that happens. Then there was that incident alone, and obviously I'm more worried about the player safety aspect. That's my main thing.
Yeah,
because as you know, like if you're diving more going down to the actual ground in that type of play, the next is gonna like cave in and stuff like. And I'm more worried about the long-term effects of doing that. And this is what I keep saying. Like, if I was to have like a 2-minute conversation with Jason Kelsey, like 10, 15 years down the line, it's like, was it really worth it? Like, I want to know what his health's like in 10, 15. I know it sounds very like I wish he is healthy and stuff like that, but if he's coming saying I've got neck problems and stuff like that, I'll be like, that's down to that tush push. And that's what worries me about other players. Like, and I'm like, obviously it's the Eagles players, but it's all the defensive players as well. I'm worried about every single one of them, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, that fumble call, it's blatant. And like you say, and they're saying forward progress had stopped. Well, if that's the case, you have to let everybody on the field know. There's no clear indication from the officials. So the play continues, making it a live ball. You can't then just magically turn around after the play and go, whoa, no, sorry. Forward progress has stopped. Then blow it up. Blow it before the ball comes out. You don't blow it up after. You know, there's things like this that have happened in the past.
Yeah.
But that one it's there. It's and how the NFL are going to get around this and explain that is going to be interesting this week. What their excuse is.
Yeah, it's the biggest debate within the NFL is that one particular play.
That was terrible.
I mean, I don't want to talk about it too much because obviously we start trying to talk about what.
Yeah, it's a Cowboy show. Yeah.
But I think but just to kind of finish that part off, I do believe that the NFL do need to have a big, massive decision on this because, like me, I'm more worried about player safety, but obviously from the officiating standpoint, it's just not right. It's just not right.
That was
like because when you see other teams try to do it, they'll try to do it right. And it doesn't, 9 times out of 10, it doesn't work because it's flawed in that way. Like, if all of the players were actually jumping on the actual snap properly, then you would actually see, like, teams would, like, defenses would actually more have the advantage. It's clear as day. I think there's maybe been 2 instances where the defense didn't actually, like, go on time of the snap, and that's where they got pushed back, which is fair. But when you look at how the Eagles do it, you always see is it Melita and oh god, who's there? Landon Dickerson always like
Yeah,
kind of pure
he
jumping
always
off like the.
yeah. He's
It's something about
he sort of rocks forward, and
yeah,
you're like,
and
but that's movement.
like yeah, and the hands are literally off the ground before the ball
Mm,
snaps.
yeah,
So, but yeah, that's my biggest pet peeve this year, and it's gotten on. It's gone along way too long now. But anyway, back to the Cowboys. I guess my next question is though, Mike, where do we hell go from here? Where do we go?
every game is a race to 40.
I think it's more than that now. At
Yeah.
this rate,
Well, I mean,
like
Denver get to 44, game is over. I mean, the game was over slightly before when they put 30 points on and Dak threw the second interception. When that happened, you were just like, and I think I sent it to you. I was like, there you go, it's game over. And then from that moment, the next offensive drive, Joe Milton's in. And then that's them just giving up, going, we throw our hands up. We're done.
in fairness to Joe Milton, he did throw a beautiful pass to
That was a
Jalen
lovely
Tolbert.
pass. That was
Like,
lovely.
yeah,
I mean, Dak
but
made some nice throws. Dak made some really, really nice throws in this game.
We did, and that was the thing. It just seems like the more desperation that we are in, the more we make the mistakes. It's
It
like
gets a little bit wayward. Dak starts pushing.
yeah, it's when we start to try and push the narrative rather than just try and be ourselves, like be that calm, collected. Like that's when like when we're calm, collected, like even though we might be slightly behind, but at least we know that we can actually gain that back. But if we're like 2 or 3 scores behind and the pressure's on, it becomes more desperate, and that's when we make more mistakes.
Mm.
And that has been always been the thing, like not just for that, but just for the Cowboys' offense in general. Even under Mike McCarthy, that was the exact same thing.
Yeah, they were a get ahead, stay ahead team. They were never a team that if you fall behind or you hit controversy, they can dig themselves out. They've never been that team. That's not Shotty, that's just this team in general. And that
Yeah,
has been the case for a while as well, mind. But essentially, the game was lost in this one. I feel if you wanted to put it down to one thing, it was the Cowboys not being able to stop the run. Once they couldn't stop the run, that was it. And you just knew what was coming from beyond that then.
yeah, it's been a really topsy-turvy season when it comes to the run defense. Some games we looked fantastic. Some games we looked absolutely terrible. There's just never been a level of consistency.
And he first went back to zone. I don't get it.
Yeah,
You've seen
yeah.
his success last week playing man. They went to man, things looked a lot better. This week, flips it again, back to zone. And I'm like, I don't get it.
I don't understand either.
No.
Especially as a kind of outline. If our defensive line is not creating the pressure, then you need to stick to man.
Gotta go man. I know that comes with, its own case of problems and different things and things that can happen. But I think at least in man, you get a better, with this defense and the way that they play, you get a better chance. But this cornerback position, it needs help, especially with Diggs. Because we haven't mentioned this. Diggs has now gone to injured reserve. That's it. He's done. Finito. And I firmly believe that move there tells you all you need to know. That not only is Diggs not back this season, right? Something's going on there, and I don't think Diggs is ever going to be playing for the Cowboys again. I think that's it. That's his career with Dallas done.
Yeah.
He'll be an off-season post-June 1 cut.
Yeah. I don't want to dive into it too much, but until we actually get all the more further details on what's going on, but yeah, folks, let us know what you thought about the game. Man, try and be nice in the comments. That's all I ask.
Oh, don't.
But yeah, as we've got Arizona next week, don't want to jump into the pregame too much, but if I remember last time, that was a proper trap game where we got beat by Joshua Dobbs. So
yeah, that's right.
we should, and regardless how terrible Arizona are doing right now, I would still treat this like an absolute trap game. Like, we cannot let them, like, whatever we do, just do not, like, lay off the gas. Like, but either way, we need to bounce back from this regardless if we want to do something this season, because the window is getting shorter right now. If we want to do anything, like
4
even
losses.
wild card, like even making it to the wild card is a big question mark right now.
Like, you kind of, like, at this stage now, you're into 4 losses, but the Eagles going the way they're going. But kind of from this point now, you're playing playoff football every game.
Yeah, it's a shootout every week.
You got to treat it that way now.
Yep, unfortunately. But yeah, and obviously for me and you, Mike, when after the Arizona game and the Vegas game, we'll be in Dallas for the Philadelphia game and the Kansas City game. So, but yeah, and that should be interesting to see where we're at then. But folks, if you're going to be in Dallas for like some Thanksgiving stuff, hit us up. We would love to kind of meet up with y'all and kick it back and get to meet more international Cowboys fans if you're going to be at the game, and also Cowboys fans from the US, of course, where we're going to be at. But yes, but obviously we're going to be at our sponsors meet and greet. We'll be doing a live stream there, meet with some player meet and greets. So be sure to go and check us out there, as we will be doing one of our first live shows. Actually, it'll be a second one. Actually,
That's right.
yeah, he'll be our second one. All right, but like I said, Dallas Cowboys lose 44-24. Not the game we were expecting by all means from offense, defense, and even special teams. But before we do, Mike, any last thoughts?
My last thoughts are, let's just win every game from here.
if we can.
Yeah,
but
something needs fixing. I suppose my final thought is going to be, how does Shotty and Jerry react in the media to this loss? That's going to be interesting. I'm going to be watching close on that one. I want to see what they come out with.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I mean, I'm gonna catch up on that tomorrow, to be honest, more than anything. But because right now it's like just after midnight here in the UK. So yeah. But yeah, folks, not the result that we wanted. The curse is still there, I guess.
The Denver curse.
The Denver curse is still alive and well. It probably won't happen for another 4 years till we play against Denver because of how the NFL rotates its schedule.
Depending how it goes, but yeah.
Yeah, but it'll probably likely be Denver will be playing at home in 4 years' time, but that's well in advance. But anyways, but anyway, folks, not the winner that we got. Be sure to tune in for the pregame show for the Arizona game. Me and Mike will be back, and yeah. I would normally say not just America's team, but the world's team, but it just doesn't feel right now. It just doesn't.
Oh, but, I tell you what, I thought of something before we sign off. Something that really peeved me off in this game. Cowboys defensive players, right? We're down 20 odd points, and there's Cowboys players making tackles, getting up and celebrating and flexing. I just thought of that now. Final thoughts. It's like, guys, you have nothing to celebrate about. Like, do not be doing that. You made a pass breakup and you're cheering. You're 20 points down.
I get it from the point of view if they're trying to try and encourage the other guys to make big plays and actually make the comeback. I get that, but at that stage, it just seems more of a personal achievement more than anything. So, I did good today.
Like, come on. Come on.
Yeah, well,
there we go.
End
Anyway,
that,
sorry.
Yeah. We'll end on that note, folks. We will be back during the week as we will be doing the pregame show against Arizona. But yeah, be sure to tune back in. Be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and follow us all on our social media platforms. And be sure to go and check out the Believe Network. Be sure to go check out all their other podcasts, including other NFL teams like Believe in Cowboys, hosted by Jesse Hawley, and much, much more. But yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
That's a wrap on the World's Team Podcast. Smash that like button and hit subscribe, Cowboys Nation. This ain't just America's team, it's your team. Touchdown! It's the World's Team, only on Believe, where real fans live.
How about them Cowboys?